Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. MTG Box Analysis here to open up my first Modern Horizons 3 Play Booster box. So I've got a fully sealed and intact box here. Here is the case number in case you're following along. We're going to go ahead and crack this thing open. We're going to look at all 36 packs. We're going to go through a lot of the cards because this is my first full Play Booster box. So we'll do a little bit of skipping, but not a ton. We're going to put the prices of all of the rares and mythics on the screen as of release weekend, and we're going to then tally up the value of the total box and do the full MTG box analysis at the end. So inside of one of these, we do get this kind of cool insert here with the archetypes, very nice. And then we've got our 36 play boosters. Curious to see what kind of cards from the list we get, how many signed art cards we get, and of course, how many of those really good cards that we get from this set. So there is a ton of value in Modern Horizons 3. Will it stick around? Time will tell. This is a very expensive set and a premier set. So let's see if the value holds for the long term. So we do have some pull tabs, so we're going to go ahead and crack it open that way. And that means that these are probably Japanese printed, and therefore the rares will be up top. Let's find out. So to kick things off, we have a non-signed art card, and then we're going to see ourselves an Eviscerator's Insight and Foil. And yes, our rares will be up front. So we've got ourselves a Flare of Duplication, followed by a Distinguished Conjurer. Then we're going to see a Pinnacle Monk with a Frogmire Enforcer, then a Breaker of Creation, followed by an Envoy of the Ancestors. And then we're going to jump into our commons. We got a Bountiful Landscape, a Dog Umbra, a Nightshade Dryad, a Rescott Knight, a Wither and Bloom, followed by a Molten Gatekeeper, and an Unfathomable Truths as our last card. All right, so our first play booster, just a single rare. Nothing too exciting or special about that pack. So let's see if we can't find something in this one. So we're getting an Eldrazi Spawn this time instead of an art card, followed by a Full Art Swamp, and then we're going to see ourselves a Sheltering Landscape as our foil. Then we've got ourselves Shaila Jengar, Sire of Famine, coming in as our rare. With a second rare, a Pearl Medallion, and that'll do it, just two rares. Then we're going to see ourselves a Legion Leadership, a Twisted Riddle Keeper, Propagator Drone, and then we've got our commons, Perilous Landscape, Snapping Voidclaw, Solstice Zealot with Malevolent Rumble, and Eviscerator's Insight, a Thriving Skyclaw with a Serum Visionary as our last card. All right, so we went from one rare to two rares. I'm pretty sure we can see three in a pack. Don't know if we'll see it in this one, but we'll certainly try. So we do have a signed art card there. So we got Tamiyo here. So let's go ahead and feature the artist. So this is Tamiyo, Inquisitive Student by Magali Violenu. So thank you very much for signing that art card and bringing our game to life. Then we got ourselves a Foil Swamp here, followed by a Foil Faithful Watchdog. And then we're going to see a Winter Moon coming in as an artifact rare and our only rare. Then we're going to see a Wirewood Symbiote, followed by a Legion Leadership, a Marionette Apprentice, followed by a Glaring Flesh Raker. Then we get an Inspired Inventor with an Evolution Witness, a Cranial Ram, Dream Drinker Vampire with Sarpadian Simulacrum, an Aether Spike, and then we're going to see ourselves a Drossclaw. All right. So I am filming this just before release day, so I don't want to quote any of the prices, but if I do see one that gets me excited, I'll let you know. So we got ourselves an Insect here, followed by a Dog Umbra, and then we're going to see at least two rares, and we've got ourselves a Volatile Stormdrake coming in as our first, with a Null Drifter coming in as our second. And we are going to see our first mythic of the box, a Recruiter of the Guard coming in at a white, and that'll do it. So there's our first triple rare pack. Then we got an Eldrazi Ravager, followed by a Proud Pack Rhino, a Cursed Wombat. Then we're going to see a Solstice Zealot, Riddlegate Gargoyle, Basking Brutescale, followed by a Fanged Flames, Sage of the Unknowable, and a Fetid Gargantua with a Siege Smash in the back. All right, moving into our next pack here. I'm hoping that we'll see some borderless or some kind of special frame in here. We're not eligible, I know, for the textured foils, but we can see cards from the special guest slot. So we get an Eldrazi Spawn token, followed by a Wither and Bloom. Then we're going to see an Amphibian Downpour coming in as our rare, followed by a Barbarian Ring as the first uncommon, Fell the Profane, Consigned to Memory with a Propagator Drone, then a Furnace Hellkite with a Deceptive Landscape, an Expanding Ooze, Expel the Unworthy, Colossal Dreadmask. Then we're going to see a Serum Visionary with a Kami of Jealous Thirst and an Inventor's Axe. All right, awesome. Now, if you are looking for singles of Modern Horizons, I do have a store over on TCG Player. I encourage you to go check it out. Some of the singles from this box and a few others will be out there for sale this weekend. So we got ourselves an Insect token, followed by a Plains. And then we're going to see ourselves a foil Jet Medallion coming in. Very nice to see our first foil rare of the box. And then we're going to see ourselves an Arena of Glory, a rare land. Love it. Then we've got ourselves a Buried Alive, followed by Rawl and the Implicit Maze. Then we're going to see ourselves a Static Prison with a Lion Umbra. And then we've got ourselves an Airy Auxiliary with an Obstinate Gargoyle, a Dog Umbra, a Nyxborn Hydra, a Dream Inferior, then an Accursed Marauder with a Skoa Ember Mage coming into the back. All right. So we still haven't really seen any of the big Eldrazi hits. Hopefully we do get to see one or two of those in this box. But we do have a Giant Whale token coming in. Then we've got our second foil of the box. We got Kudo, King Among Bears, coming in as a foil rare. And behind that, we've got ourselves a Wooded Foothills, our first fetch land of the box. I really hope we get to see a few more of these in here. This is really one of the things that this set is all about. All right, awesome to see that. And then we're going to see ourselves a Savini's Reclamation coming in as our second rare and our last rare. Then we're going to see a Suppression Ray, followed by a Dreadmobile. Then we're going to see a Golden Tail Trainer with a Skittering Persecutor. And then we're going to see ourselves a Bountiful Landscape, followed by Cyclops Superconductor, Nyxborn Unicorn, the Eldrazi Repurposer, Warp Tusker, an Utter Insignificance with a Cerilius Sentry coming in the back. All right, very cool. Glad to see that we've got ourselves our first fetch land. All right, this art card, non-signed, but that is Sorin of House Markov, a borderless card I'm looking to add to my collection. We've got ourselves a full art island, followed by a foil Pyretic Rebirth. Then we're going to see ourselves a Spring Heart Nantuko coming in as our rare. Then we're going to see a Nesting Ground, a Disciple of Freylais with a Territory Color, Copy Crook. Then we're going to see a Shattered Landscape, Mandibular Kite, Sheltering Landscape, Molten Gatekeeper with an Unfathomable Truths. And then we're going to see ourselves a Gravedigg and the Sarpadian Simulacrum Goblin in the back. I swear they just make up names so that way they can mess with people like me. All right, another art card. No signature on that one. We do get ourselves a foil Foul Strike, followed by our first borderless of the box. We got an Arna Keterid Sky Captain coming in, borderless Mythic. Very cool to see that. It's our second Mythic of the box. Then we're going to see ourselves in Deep Analysis, followed by our first retro of the box, and that's our Galvanic Discharge. I guess we'll need to make a new pile. Then we got ourselves a Mob Boss, followed by a Reiterating Bolt, Collective Resistance, Perilous Landscape, a Foul Strike, Conduit Goblin, 3B Charm, Tune the Narrative with a Breathe Your Last and a Galvanic Discharge coming in, this time in the non-retro frame. All right, moving into our next pack here. We've got ourselves a Cat token, followed by a foil Plains. Directly behind that, we're going to see ourselves a foil Smeltering Charbug. Then we've got ourselves an Aether Revolt coming in as our main set rare and our only rare. Then we're going to see a Worn Power Stone, a Glasswig Grace, the Creation of Avacyn, followed by Consuming Corruption, with a Foreboding Landscape, Gift of the Viper, Riddlegate Gargoyle, a Wing It, followed by a Corrupted Shapeshifter, Dream Drinker Vampire, with a Thriving Skyclaw. So is it just me, or do these play boosters have far less rares and mythics than some of the other play boosters that have come out since play boosters were invented? Maybe I've just got a bad box. Maybe this is just a bad stack. Obviously, the analysis will bear that out. So we got ourselves a treasure token, followed by a non-foil mountain. Then we're going to see a foil Spawn Gang Commander coming in, followed by an Ocelot Pride coming in as a mythic. Very cool to see this card. This will be our third mythic of the box, and you know, a 1/1 cat for 1 mythic. Read up on that. All right, we got a Priest of Titania, followed by a Hydroelectric Specimen. Then we're going to see a Triton Wavebreaker, followed by a Twisted Riddle Keeper. Then a Scurry of Goblins, Temperamental Oozewag with the Obstinate Gargoyle, Mandiblar Kite, the Electrozoa, and Eviscerator's Insight. And then we're going to see ourselves a Siege Smash. All right, that takes us to the last pack in stack number 1. Hopefully this is pack number 12 and I didn't mess up the stacks. You never know. We got ourselves an Angel token, followed by a foil Wing It. Then we're going to see ourselves Nandu Wicked Wisdom coming in as our first rare with a borderless Sapphire Medallion. Very cool to see that. These really do look pretty sweet, especially in foil, but in non-foil, looks just as good to me. Put that right up top. Then we get ourselves a Waterlogged Teachings, followed by an Ethereum Petromander, Tisker's Elk, Solar Transformer. Then we've got Deceptive Landscape, Malevolent Rumble, Writhing Chrysalis. Then we're going to see Jolted Awake with Attempts' Harvest, and a Cerelia Sentry with the Goblin in the back. Not even going to attempt to say the name again. All right, moving into stack number 2 here, we got another art card, unsigned. We're going to see ourselves a Mandiblar Kite coming in foil, followed by Detective Phoenix coming in as our main set rare, and again, our only rare. Meteoric Mace. Oh, we got ourselves a mythic coming in from the Commander hiding in the back there. Very cool to see that. This is our first Commander card. Unfortunately, I know this card. I've seen it before. Not a high value hit. And then we're going to see ourselves the Hunger Tide Rises, followed by a Horrid Shadow Spinner. Then we're going to see a Reckless Pyro Surfer, an Expanding Ooze, Jolted Awake, Evolution Witness, Snapping Void Claw, Refurbished Familiar, Void Pouncer, and a Petrifying Meddler in the back. I guess we'll put that in our mythic pile. So still only 1 fetch land, and I think we're at 4 mythics. 1 retro, 2 borderless. All right, we got ourselves a Gremlin with a foil Bridgeworks Battle. There is a card behind it. Ooh, a Wheel of Potential coming in as another borderless. All right, so that is our 3rd borderless of the box, 2nd rare. And then we're going to see ourselves an Ophomancer coming in as a 2nd rare with a Sink into Stupor, followed by It Heralds the End, Mindless Conscription, followed by a Glyph Eternal. Then we've got ourselves a Perilous Landscape, Solstice Zealot, Cranial Ram, Foul Strike, Kami of Jealous Thirst, Smelting Charbug, and a Deem Inferior in the back. All right, I was not expecting to see 3 borderless in this box, but that's pretty cool. We do have our first double-sided blank token here. Write whatever you want on that. Then we're going to see ourselves a Forest, followed by a Riddle Gate Gargoyle. And then we're going to see 6 coming in as our rare. Very cool. And behind that, we're going to see ourselves a Victimize with a Bloat-Soaked Insight, a Snow-Covered Waste. Very cool land there. I'm going to put that one to the side. Then we're going to see a Kozilek's Unsealing, followed by a Riddle Gate Gargoyle, Inspired Inventor, Tempered Oozewag with an Obstinate Gargoyle, a Fetid Gargantua. Then we're going to see an Inventor's Axe with a Sage of the Unknowable. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time we've ever had a snow-covered waste. We've had snow-covered lands quite a few times, but I believe this is the first time we've ever had wastes. So I'm just going to kind of keep that to the side. Haven't looked up the value on it. I'm sure it's not $20, but it might be $1 or $2. And it's kind of a unique card introduced in this set, if I'm right. All right, so this art card is unsigned. But that is Arna Kennerid Sky Captain, because we've already seen the borderless version. Then we got ourselves a Nightshade Dryad in foil with a Flare of Fortitude coming in out of white with an Annoyed Altalisar. Then we're going to see ourselves Bridgeworks Battle, an Etched Sith with an Amped Raptor, followed by Path of Annihilation. Then we've got ourselves a Deceptive Landscape, a Wing It, an Eldrazi Repurposer, with a Contaminated Landscape, Breathe Your Last, Glimpse of the Impossible, and a Corrupted Shapeshifter in the back. Getting pretty close to the halfway point. The Wooded Foothills is definitely a hit. The Sapphire Medallion's a hit. The Ocelot Pride might be a hit, although I'm not sure what else might be a hit, because again, I have not memorized all the prices. Would love to see a Tameo Inquisitive Student coming in, but you know, in the borderless treatment. So we got ourselves a Phyrexian Golem, followed by a foil Swamp. And there we go, we got ourselves a foil Flooded Strand. Very nice to see that as our main set rare. And behind that, whoa, we got ourselves Emrakul, the World Anew. Very cool to see this extremely powerful card. And if I'm not mistaken, high value, so I'll take it. And we're even going to see another rare. We got ourselves a Dreamtide Whale coming in as our third rare of the pack. And then we're going to pick up a Meltdown and a Monstrous Vortex with an Indebted Spirit, followed by a Lethal Throwdown with a Hex Gold Slith, Cyclops Superconductor, Gift of the Viper, Retrofitted Transmogrant, and a Drowned Yard Lurker with a Skoa Embermage. Alright, so what a pack. Very nice to see a foil fetch land, followed by Emrakul and a bonus rare in the back. All right, we got ourselves another signed art card. So let's go ahead and feature the artist here. This is going to be the Glass Wing Grace by Craig Elliott. So thank you very much, Craig. I appreciate your artwork. And we'll just take one more look at it. Awesome. Then we're going to see ourselves Plains, followed by a foil, The Hunger Tide Rises, with a Cathalonian Nightmare coming in as our main set rare. And then we're going to see ourselves a Junk Diver, an Eldrazi Ravager, Ajani Fell the Godshire with a Bespoken Battle Wagon, then a Bountiful Landscape, Writhing Chrysalis, Expel the Unworthy, Colossal Dreadmask, Petrifying Meddler, Wither in Bloom, and a Fanged Flames in the back. All right, so I'm just going to take a half a second here, and I'm going to move some of these common uncommons out of the way so I can make room for the second half of the box. All right, another art card, non-signed. We are going to see ourselves a foil Urza's Incubator coming in. Very nice to see that. That should be a pretty good hit for us. Directly behind that, we're going to see ourselves a Flare of Denial coming in, followed by a Cursed Mirror as our third rare. And then we're going to see ourselves Drowner of Truth, followed by a Triton Wavebreaker, a Wumpus Apparition, and then we're going to see an Ondu Knotmaster with a Tranquil Landscape, Conduit Goblin, Inspired Inventor, with a Basking Broodscale, an Aether Spike, and a Fetid Gargantua with a Thriving Skyclaw. All right, very cool. All right, now I'm starting to feel a little bit better about this Play Booster box. These things are somewhere north of $200, depends on where you bought them, when you bought them. I'll put the TCG Player market price on the screen as of the pricing of this box so you can kind of get a gauge. So we got ourselves one more non-signed art card with a foil Island, followed by a foil Tempest Harvester. And then we're going to see ourselves the Disruptor Flute with a Cephalopid Colosseum. Then we're going to see Witch Enchanter, Guardian of the Forgotten, Waterscape Battle Mage, and Expanding Ooze, with a Rosecott Knight, Temperamental Oozewag, the Sneaky Snacker, the Electrozoa, the Refurbished Familiar, and an Inventor's Axe in the back. So just a quick poll. Do you play Modern, or do you just play Commander and want these cards? Let me know. Got ourselves a Blood Token, followed by Breathe Your Last, and we're going to see ourselves a Monumental Henge coming in as our fourth borderless of the box. Awesome. Then we're going to see ourselves Decree of Justice, followed by a Revitalizing Repast, Null Elemental Blast. Then we're going to see a Hydra Trainee, Brain Surge, Deceptive Landscape, Hex Gold Slith, Contaminated Landscape, Eldrazi Repurposer, the Unfathomable Truths, and an Accursed Marauder with a Skoa Embermage in the back. Very nice to see 4 borderless. One thing I guess to note, there are no showcase cards in this set, so borderless could potentially feel like showcase. So let's see how many we got. So we got a non-token token with an island. And then we're going to see ourselves a Frogmire Enforcer coming in as our foil, with a Spymaster's Vault coming in from the Land series. Then we've got a Shrieking Drake with an Essence Reliquary, Grim Servant, Glaring Fleshraker, Shattered Landscape, an Airy Auxiliary, Nightshade Dryad, Deem Inferior with a Gravedigg, and then we've got a Molten Gatekeeper with a Petrifying Meddler in the back. All right, 2 more packs in stack number 2. I hope that value meter in the top left of your screen is over 200 bucks. We'll see. So we got ourselves a non-token token with an Inventor's Axe. Then we're going to see ourselves a Flare of Malice with an Angel of the Ruins, Sundering Eruption, Phyrexian Ironworks, Titan's Vanguard, Ghost Fire Slice, a Seething Landscape. Then we're going to see the Cyclops Superconductor, Expel the Unworthy with a Colossal Dread Mask, Ceruleus Sentry, and a Smelting Charge Bug, followed by a Drowned Yard Lurker. All right, final pack in stack number 2. Make sure you do stay tuned to the end so you can see all of the value in all the pulls and the MTG box analysis. Only takes about 2 minutes to the end, and I even throw in some pretty cool music. All right, we got a Phyrexian Jura, followed by a foil Plains. And then we're going to see ourselves a foil Estrid's Invocation coming in, another rare in foil, followed by a Ripples of Undeath. And then we're going to see an Annoyed Altalassar, Glasswing Grace, and Is It Generatorim, Signature Slam, Bountiful Landscape, Malevolent Rumble, followed by a Faithful Watchdog, Inspired Inventor, the Goblin, an Aether Spike, and a Drossclaw. All right, moving into our last stack, the last 12 packs in this box. Can we get one more fetch land? Can we get another retro card? We've only seen one, and it was a common. So we got ourselves a Servo, followed by a Swamp. Then we're going to see ourselves a Ajani Fell the Godshire in foil with a Strix Serenade coming in as our main set rare. And our only rare, again, Reef Worm. Then a Stump, Wormcoil Larva, Muster the Departed, Tranquil Landscape, Goblin Conduit, Thrabian Charm, Nyxborn Hydra, a Drossclaw, Glimpse the Impossible, and an Aether Spike in the back. I wonder if I'm just feeling like the number of single rare packs is extremely high, or if that's just the way it's supposed to be. So we got ourselves an Eldrazi Spawn here, followed by a foil Island. Then we're going to see a Foreboding Landscape, also in foil, with Devourer of Destiny coming in, an Eldrazi rare, number 2 in the set, in case you're tracking the collection. Then we got an Urza's Incubator, very cool, followed by an Urza's Cave. I believe this land does hold a little bit of value for us. Then we got a Pyretic Rebirth, a Hope Ender Kodal with a Shattered Landscape, Horrific Assault, Twisted Landscape, Drowned Yard Lurker, Breathe Your Last, an Inferior Captor, and a Serum Visionary in the back. All right, we've got a little bit more room. Let's go ahead and spread out our borderless cards. If I'm not mistaken, we're still just sitting at 5 mythics, which is a little bit low in my opinion for a play booster box. Even the Thunder Junction seemed to have a higher mythic pull rate. So we've got a Gremlin with a Writhing Chrysalis. There we go. Just complain a little bit. Here's a mythic for you, and a pretty good one. We've got ourselves an Ugin's Labyrinth coming in. Very nice to see that mythic. Directly behind that, we're going to see ourselves a Harbinger of Seas with a Fledgling Dragon, a Vexing Bauble, Muster the Departed, Copy Crook, Deceptive Landscape, followed by a Sneaky Snacker, Thrabian Charm, Sheltering Landscape, Refurbished Familiar, Void Pouncer, and Tune the Narrative. All right. Very nice. Glad we got ourselves an Ugin's Labyrinth. That is a really good hit for the box, at least as of the day I'm looking at the prices. Hopefully it still is when I put it on the screen. All right, we got one more non-signed art card with a foil Swamp. Then we're going to pick up a foil Proud Pack Rhino with an Abstruse Appropriation coming in as our rare, followed by a Barbarian Ring and a Hydroelectric Specimen, the Hunger Tide Rises, Mindless Conscription, Glyph Elemental, Horrific Assault, Contaminated Landscape, followed by a Dog Umbra, Dream Drinker Vampire, Galvanic Discharge, and a Warped Tusker in the back. I'm going to move this stack off screen again. Don't want to knock them over. I think we're down to about 7 packs, so 7 more chances to see ourselves a special guest, another fetch land. Let's see. Got a Zombie with a Hex Gold Slith, followed by Fanatic of Ronus coming in as our rare, Then we've got ourselves a Worn Power Stone, a Suppression Ray, another Snow-Covered Waste, so that's 2 for the box. Then we got a Wumpus Aberration, an Ondu Knotmaster, Tranquil Landscape, Foul Strike, Cranial Ram, Nyxborn Unicorn, Tempest Harvest, a Retrofitted Transmogrant, and a Siege Smash in the back. So as far as I can tell, like one card I haven't seen that I really want to see is I want to see Sorin, House of Markov. I also want to see an Ulamog the Defiler. So we've seen Emrakul, the World Anew, but I want to see an Ulamog. That's just my hope. Got a food, got an island, got a Void Pouncer, got a Spring Heart Nantuko coming in borderless for our 5th borderless of the box. Then we're going to see a Kappa Cannoneer. Very first time this card has been printed out of Commander. Very cool. And behind that, we're going to see ourselves a Bogart Trawler, followed by Idol of False Gods, a Lethal Throwdown, then a Basking Brood-Scale, Faithful Watchdog, a Winged, an Utter Insignificance, a Gravedigg, followed by an Infernal Captor, and Tune the Narrative. All right, moving into our next pack. I don't think we've seen any cards off of the list. Maybe there is not a list, and everything is just special guests. I should probably look at that before I start these videos. All right, one more non-signed art card with a Glasswing Grace. Then we're going to see ourselves the Phyla Exuberant Shepherd, a little puppy coming in there as our rare. Then we're going to see a Nesting Grounds, Charitable Levy, Bespoken Battle Wagon, Guardian of the Forgotten, Seething Landscape, a Writhing Chrysalis, Gift of the Viper, Twisted Landscape, Kami of Jealous Thirst, Smelted Charbug, and an Electrozoa. So is that the Dogecoin dog? Was it a Shibu Emu? I'm not a dog person, so I don't know dog breeds. Just kind of looks like it. That one looks super happy. If Dogecoin, I guess, goes up, maybe some of you will be happy. All right, non-signed art card with a foil Forest, followed by a foil Obstinate Gargoyle. And then we're going to see ourselves Guide of Souls coming in as our rare, a Wirewood Symbiote, Strength of the Harvest, Pyretic Rebirth, Lion Umbra, Perilous Landscape, Mandiblar Kite, Evolution Witness, Hexgold Slith, a Cursed Marauder, Fang Flames, with Sage the Unknowable. All right, we are down to 4 packs, 4 chances. This one kicks off with the Spirit. Behind that, we're going to see ourselves a second foil fetch land of the box. We got ourselves the Flooded Strand and now the Windswept Heath. Very nice. And behind that, we're going to see ourselves a Flare of Cultivation coming in as our second rare with a Junk Driver, Razor Glass Ambush, Unstable Amulet, Marionette Apprentice, Emrakul's Messenger, Foreboding Landscape, a Sneaky Snacker, just a fun card to say, Nyxborn Unicorn, Nyxborn Hydra, Eviscerator's Insight, and a Void Pouncer, and an Utter Insignificance in the back, which is probably what describes the value of that card, being just a common. Not that all commons are low value. All right, one more art card, one more non-signed. Then we got the Full Art Plains, followed by a Furnace Hellkite with a Sowing Mycospawn coming in as a rare. And then we're going to see a Meteorarch Mace, the Creation of Avacyn, Trickster's Elk, Voltstorm Angel, Tranquil Landscape with Faithful Watchdog, Rosecott Knight, Horrific Assault, Drossclaw, Glimpse the Impossible, Tempest Harvest is our last card. All right, we got 2 more packs, 2 more chances to see another really good card. So we got ourselves a bird. All right, I'm just looking at the artwork for the first time. Then we got a swamp, followed by a Fang Flames. Then we've got ourselves Ugin's Binding coming in. All right, this is a pretty good hit for us. Another mythic to add to the stack. Awesome to see that. Directly behind that, we are going to see a Ruby Medallion. So that's our second medallion of the box. I guess third technically because we got the borderless. And then we're going to see ourselves a Drowner of Truth, Null Elemental Blast, followed by a Reckless Pyrosurfer, Ajani Fell the Godshire, Sheltering Landscape, Area Auxiliary, Twisted Landscape, followed by the Retrofitted Transmogrant, and the Discharge with the Tusker in the back. All right, we are now down to our last pack here. Let's see what kind of value we can find. Let's go old school. Really kind of make the drama sit in there. All right, so we got ourselves a spirit. Actually, let me cover up that face in the back. It'll take the focus. So we got a spirit, followed by an unfathomable truths coming in foil, with an Eldrazi Linebreaker coming in as our rare, with a Buried Alive, Pinnacle Monk, Ral and the Implicit Maze, Royal Cartographer, Wormcoil Larva, Nightshade Dryad, Snapping Voidclaw, Jolted Awake, Wither and Bloom, Infernal Captor, and a Corrupted Shapeshifter with a Dream Drinker Vampire in the back. All right, so I'll get it all sorted, organized, and here comes the MTG Box Analysis. Get early access to videos, download the analysis for every box open on the channel, and personally DM me, just like these fine people, all by becoming a member of the channel through YouTube or over at mtgboxanalysis.com. You'll find links in the description. Until next time, do something amazing.